The final score, Briton Ferry 3, Wrexham nil. And if you saw the final whistle from the last game against Cardiff, you'll have seen that I was feeling extremely eager to see this match because of the promise of Wrexham's performance against Cardiff. But I'm afraid today we had a day where there didn't seem to be much in the tank. We didn't get going from the start. Briton Ferry had a couple of slices of good luck, but that did not determine the match. Briton Ferry were worthy winners. And yes, ultimately, it was a very frustrating day for Wrexham indeed. We made one change, Robbie Lightfoot coming in from the start. And we started brightly, Sharp playing a good ball over the top. Rosie Hughes all on her own, outpacing the defence and getting in down the right channel, drilling a powerful shot. A good save by Young, and Young would make a couple of very good saves in the second half as well. But unfortunately, soon after that, a pattern developed which essentially gave Briton Ferry a decisive advantage partway through the first half. Started off some sloppy passing at the back with Sharp feeding the ball forwards, Gibbard beaten to it by Owen, who found Witt's shot, drilled in, was saved by Craven. Now the problem is this was a sign of things to come. We would struggle to get the ball out from the back, and we were looking to pass the ball out from the back. We just kept losing it in our own half and didn't seem to be able to really find a solution until we made a tactical alteration, which I'll explain in a moment. But by the time we'd done that, we were 2-0 down. Firstly, Powell has been delivering some great set pieces. In the 11th minute, he swung in a free kick from by the right corner flag, and Ridings cutting in, a good run, nice interesting position that she took up beyond the far post. She ran in towards the goal, beat Liv Fuller to it, and was able to head the ball home. And we could easily have conceded another straight from the kickoff. And again, it was Sharp, almost identical to the chance they gave to Witts, trying to feed the same pass in, this time to Lily Jones, but it gave Walklers a really good chance to get there first, which he took advantage of, drove into the box, drove it in. It was parried by Craven, but the ball was rolling invitingly in the goalmouth. Fuller did well to beat Richardson to it and get it away, and this, like I said, was the problem. We were looking to pass out from the back. Briton Ferry's pressing was very good, and our passing wasn't really. The pitch was maybe a touch slow, but that's not an excuse, and certainly not a criticism of Briton Ferry, because their pitch, well, I thought it'd get called off driving down, having seen all the rain over the weekend. But the pitch, considering how wet it must have been, was really playing exceptionally well. Chapeau to them. It helped, of course, by the enormous slants from side to side on the pitch, which must help drainage. But yeah, the pitch was maybe a little slow for us to pass out from the back, but it wasn't a real reason for it. Powell tried a shot from a free kick as well, which whistled just over, before in the 16th minute a cruel second goal went in. Broadly, the left back bursting down the flank, head down, stuck in a cross, mishit it, and it soared over the helpless Craven and inside the far post. 2-0. It was a fluke. But yeah, Wrexham 2-0 after 16 minutes, and it kind of felt right then, because Wrexham just couldn't get out of their own half. The alteration that was made was Liv Fuller being shifted from the right back position, starting in a back four, to sitting in front of the defence. And that worked because Fuller's probably our best passer of the ball. She's very composed. She's got a good picture of what's going on around her. And because of that, we addressed the issue of passing out from the back. She was able to make herself available, shift the ball on quickly, often with one touch. And we started to improve with our use of the ball. Although we had escape, should I say. A lucky shave. What's a lucky shave? I have to think about that. After half an hour, when Walkless span Clark and drove in a shot from a oblique angle, Craven couldn't get near it, and Sharp did really well to clear it from underneath her own crossbar. But we started to come back at them, like I said. Lily Jones pinging the ball out to the left flank, Lightfoot cutting inside, and with her right foot trying to hit it from outside the box over the keeper and dip it into the top right corner. Didn't quite dip enough. Lily Jones would have another effort like that as well from a similar part of the pitch, which just cleared the bar, and also would drive a ball into the goalmouth. Richardson hit in a defensive role, hitting her and ricocheting, and luckily for Briton Ferry being saved by Young, who reacted well, considering how close it was. So Wrexham finishing the half well, and you thought, okay, next goal is terribly important. We seem to have weathered that storm, taken away from Briton Ferry that tactic of pressing us and forcing us to make errors in our own half. start the second half well, we should be all right. And we did start the second half well until the 47th minute when we conceded a free kick. Powell slung it in, and Tia Richardson lost her marker and headed it comfortably in from 6 yards out. How frustrating for Wrexham, having looked like we might have the wherewithal to pull ourselves back into the match. Soon afterwards, Briton Ferry were shouting for a penalty after a Powell corner hit Sharp on the hand. Powell showing a drop for a player who hit the shot, which hit her on the hand. I think the ref was right, probably, to not give it. Wrexham made changes. Rebecca Pritchard and Ava Suckley came on, replacing Lovett and Cara Jones, and they made an immediate impact. And Wrexham had our best spell of the match. Oh, in fact, Mary Gibbon must be wondering how she didn't score. Firstly, Fuller dinking in a free kick. Gibbons getting ahead to it about 8 yards out. Really good contact. Tremendous save by Young, who lunged to her right and managed to get a hand to it and push it away. Fine save that. The corner came in and was half cleared. Gibbard put it in again. It was half cleared. And then the ball was fed across to her once more. And she drove a pile driver from just outside the box. And this time Young, diving to her left, did the same again. 2 fine saves. Rosie Hughes did well to keep the ball alive and chipped it in with the keeper helpless. But Katie Sharp, in front of an open goal, just couldn't get on top of the ball. And the header went over the bar. Then it was Craven driving a good ball over the top. She got very good contact on her distribution. Suckley managed to read the bounce better than the defenders and was through 1-on-1 with the keeper. But then the backspin on the ball just didn't help her. And by the time she'd brought her under control, the defenders had got back and the opportunity was gone. Wrexham brought Abby Iddenden on for Brooke Cairns as well with 20 minutes left, and she looked lively up front and started to link up as Wrexham continued to push forwards. Our best move of the game was a lovely one-touch move that's just cut through the middle of Briton Ferry's defence. Gibbard to Fuller to Suckley, and the edge of the box is Suckley's range, but she pulled this one quite badly and would have been really disappointed with it. She looked it, certainly. Then Fuller sweeping in a set piece. Clark getting a contact on it. Nobody quite able to reach it at the far post. Iddenden had a shot blocked. Hughes had a shot blocked earlier. Lightfoot had a couple. Then Iddenden driving the ball into the box, but it was sliced just wide. And the game was over. I mean, I'm making it sound like a sob story, and I shouldn't. Briton Ferry were good value for their win, not least because when they got on top of us, the margin of performance between the two sides was massive in the first half hour. However, when they came under pressure, apart from Young making 3 good saves, the centre-backs, Llewellyn and Ridings, were superb, absolutely superb. Very little got past them, and in the air they were magnificent. So, to be fair, they defended well when they had to, and then up the other end of the pitch, Witts is a handful, as a big target. Walkley playing off her is one of the best players in the division, and she kept finding space between the lines and driving at us. And Owen, Maya Owen, a young player they brought in the summer, there was a lot of excitement about. She was very lively in the first hour and was very good in the press as well. So, yeah, they were worthy winners, no problem. But this Wrexham side's got more into than that and now has to pull itself together for next Sunday. Looking at the performances, well, Lizzie Craven, apart from that shot which across her by Walkley, which she parried, which she maybe could have held on to, that's the one that Fuller got to under the bar and cleared anyway. I thought she did well. She made a few good saves. Distribution was good, actually, especially going long, ironically, considering how much we were going short in the first half. The centre-back, well, that's actually looking at the team how it started from the beginning. I mean, Fuller was one of our better players, especially when she shifted into midfield and could influence the game a bit more. She tried to drive the game forward. Like I said, her passing and her awareness is very good. She can lay the ball off first time. She's got a good picture of the pitch around her, and she shifts the ball on well. The centre-backs, Clark was troubled by Walkley at times, although many players will be when she runs at them. Used the ball quite well. The other centre-back, Sharp, she's great, Katie Sharp, but she had a little bit of a rough afternoon today, with her passing in particular coming out. She battled away though, as ever, but yeah, it wasn't one of her better days. Erin Lovett made a couple of typical thunderous tackles, but that was then tactically sacrificed to allow us to put more attacking players onto the pitch. In midfield, Lily Jones, I thought, put in a very good shift, as always. She ended up playing the last half hour at centre-back. But yeah, her use of the ball was good. And as ever, lots of energy, trying to get shots off and trying to drive play forwards. Played quite well during our bad patches as well, which is always a good sign, isn't it? Also in midfield, I thought Brooke Cairns put in a very good shift. I thought she worked exceptionally hard, trying to get the ball forwards and trying to take responsibility and drop off when we were struggling to pass the ball out from the back. Gibbard's put in another excellent shift, box to box, constant work, always around the ball. So unlucky not to get a goal. She was our most dangerous player, in fact. On the flanks, on the wings, the flanks. That'd be a great name for a children's show, the Flinks. No, it wouldn't. I don't think. On the flanks, Cara Jones had a surprisingly quiet day. She's consistently good and full of energy. She had her moments, but yeah, she for once didn't make much impact on the opposition. On the left-hand side, Lightfoot kept going and was probably our best source of delivery into the box as well. Up front, Rosie Hughes I had a lot of sympathy for. She was isolated in the first half, didn't get enough service, had that good early effort. It just wasn't quite falling for her. Suckley held the ball well, as always. Pritchard added a lot of pep down the right-hand side and got lots of good crosses in. And Iddenden looks interesting to me. She looks lacking in match sharpness, and I believe that's the case from what I've been told after in the Cardiff match. But she looked a lot further towards achieving match sharpness in the 20 minutes she had in this game. She won a lot of headers. She was using the ball intelligently, and she was putting pressure on defenders very energetically. So that there's an interesting player there that we may see a lot more of quite soon. But as it is, very disappointing. But get down there on Sunday, get to the racecourse on Sunday, not only because this is a side that can play some very good football, but also because we need that result on Sunday. We've lost our first two matches, and we need to get revenge on Swansea for somehow managing to win last season at the racecourse in injury time when we dominated. Oh, sorry. It's getting to be my bedtime, so I better leave you with that. With a final score of Briton Ferry 3, Wrexham 0, I'm Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC.